Greta Thunberg case thrown out due to unlawful conditions.
Here's a summary of the article.
Greta Thunberg and 4 co-defendants have been found not guilty of breaking the law when they refused to follow police instructions to move on during a climate protest. The judge said that the conditions imposed on protesters were so unclear that it is unlawful. The judge was scathing about the police's decision to impose unlawful restrictions on Greta Thunberg and other climate protesters. The judge noted that the protest was peaceful and civilized. He felt the tactics used breached the lawful rights of protesters on the 17th of October, and he said that conditions were so restrictive as to be unlawful. Speaking after the hearing, Ms. Thunberg's lawyer, Raj Chadha, told reporters, the charges against them were rightly dismissed. The conditions imposed on the protest were unclear, uncertain and unlawful. Ms. Thunberg appeared at court along with 2 fossil-free London protesters and 2 Greenpeace activists, who also pleaded not guilty to the same offence.
This post received a score of 5,400, with an upvote ratio of 88%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Judge is pretty damning in his comments about how baseless the case was.
With a name like John Laws, the man had no choice but to become a judge. He's literally Johnny Law.
I wonder if he has unusually long arms.
Hey, he's sensitive about that, you fucking asshole.
Police didn't do their paperwork and shown zero evidence. Judge sounds pissed they didn't drop the case because they had nothing.
Police didn't want a conviction.
So these kids were given unlawful orders and then were kidnapped as a result, and the police flagrantly refused to do their job investigating the crime they were kidnapping these people over. Those officers who did that, and anyone who commanded them to take these actions, should all be rounded up and have their freedom taken from them. Judgments like this should swing back to the perpetrators of tyranny.
This happens a lot more often than you think it does. Unlawful arrests are very common in the UK. It's done primarily to intimidate and scare people. The police know they have no evidence or just cause for an arrest other than but the person they are arresting is on their shit list. They will not collect evidence. They will not justify their actions. They will not give any reasonable level of due process. It's just, oh, you could be doing something illegal, so we are going to arrest you now, even if we know you haven't.
Real butt hurt, so they drop it at the last minute, every time, and come after you again and again and again. What? You think I don't notice this shit? What would get me is when the same officer who arrested you sees you again. They just assume you had pled guilty in their absence and become absolutely incandescent with disbelief when they did another name check. Else means the officer has to actually explain their thinking, and they won't be doing it in front of some purple-haired punk girl. Now I think about it, maybe that's why the judge and the prosecutor would both look a bit mystified before dropping it again.
I'm not surprised conservative politicians and their lackeys try to crack down on dissent. I'm surprised by how bad they are at it. Looks like a whole bunch of grandstanding and a waste of tax money, and what for? To demonstrate to their base that the woke shall be punished?
They've always been this bad at it, but the excuses they could use in the past to get away with it no longer fly because cameras are everywhere. The judge accepted the fact that with 1,000 people and all the CCTV around there, someone should have caught some of their claims, that's all. I suspect if the judge hadn't, that would have been the very first point brought up at trial.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.